All right, good evening. I'm gonna confess something tonight. And no, it's not that I'm not prepared, because I actually did prepare this time. Adam gave me a whole day's notice. Right, Adam? I'm going to confess that though Neville brags about how much I work out, I don't do it as effectively. Specifically, the program that I'm doing is all about trying to lift as much weight as you can. There's all different ways you can stay in shape, but mine is to try to get up to your maximum lift on just a few exercises and then just keep doing it. Well, I'm stuck on, so all the guys are going to know bench press. It is the man's lift. That's how we all compare how strong we are to one another. At least in high school, that's what we did. And my bench press is stuck. I've been at this for 6 months now, and I got it to this point, and I can't get it to move. And while preparing for this Devo today, I figured out why. It's because I don't have a spotter with me in the mornings when I'm lifting weights. So I'm scared to, if you don't know what a bench press is, you lay down on the bench, you lift the weight off, and it's on your chest. So I'm scared to take too much weight off of the safety and bring it down on my chest unless I've got somebody standing there who's going to pick it up when I can't do it. So I figured out I'm not progressing because I'm scared to go past about 160 pounds on that bar. If I want to go any further, I'm going to have to swallow my pride and ask somebody to come with me or go to one of the other guys in the gym and, interrupt their workout and say, would you please come over and spot me so I can lift more weight so that I can get over this hump. Now, will I ever do it? Probably not, because it's not that important to me to actually get over that hump. I'm probably lifting as much as I should. But it got me thinking about how we live our lives. Do we live our lives in a safe way, in a way that keeps us from ever really getting to the potential that we have? I'll go so far until it gets hard or until it gets a little bit stressful or a little bit even dangerous, but then I'm going to pull back, whether it's consciously or just kind of because of our biases, just pull back enough so that I'm back into my safe zone and therefore not progress. So the text that got me started on this was Hebrews chapter 12. You know it really well. It's chapter 12, verse 1. It says, therefore, since we're surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. So I started thinking about this race that we're called to run. And is this race the same as my fitness race, or would I run it in the same way? And I concluded that life is following what I do in my exercise, that I'm not running the race with the endurance. I'm not putting it out there to the extent that I would if I truly wanted to grow. For a couple of years now, you've heard Daryl and me and Billy say something to the effect of, would this community notice if Summit were no longer here? Well, I want to flip that. I want to actually make it more personal. Would you notice if Christ was no longer a part of your life? How long would it take you to notice that Christ was no longer with you? And as I reflected on that, I thought, I pray every day, but I could imagine going a day without praying. I could imagine maybe even I could forget and go 2 days before everything starts to feel weird. And that's not right. If I'm living my life to the extent that I should, where I'm at my max, I should be looking for that spotter before I get up in the morning. That should be the first thought I have, not something I think of midway through the day. Ooh, I haven't prayed yet today. So I'm putting myself out there. Maybe some of you are in the same position that Christ isn't quite as central to you as he should be. Now, of course, if asked, I'll tell you, Christ is number one. He's most important to me. But I don't back that up necessarily with the way I live. I'm not out there at the margin anymore, or as I should. One more scripture, 1 Corinthians 9:24. 1 Corinthians 9:24. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one receives the prize. So run that you may obtain it. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. So I do not run aimlessly. I do not box as one beating the air, but I discipline my body and keep it under control. And this is the part that really gets me. Lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. So maybe you can take something from my confession. You don't often see the elders come down and sit on the front row. So this is my version of sitting on the front row and saying, I can do better about that. I can do better about living my life to the extent that I need to have Christ every moment, not just when it's convenient or when I think about it. So tonight, my thoughts are short, but I hope they'll impact you as deeply as they did me. And if there's something that we can pray with you about, or if there's somebody here who needs to be baptized, now's the time to do it. So please come as we stand and sing.